Hi, I'd like to talk about a current problem that is occurring on Cape Cod. I live on Cape Cod, Massachusetts. Cape Cod, Massachusetts is legendary worldwide for pristine Atlantic Ocean beaches, and people come from all over the world during the summer to Cape Cod, Massachusetts. I think it's Hyannisport, where the Kennedys lived. And of course, the movie, which is kind of ironic for what I'm talking about, the movie Jaws, which is about a great white shark intimidating a community during the summer, was filmed on Martha's Vineyard on Cape Cod. And now, on Cape Cod, quite a few years later, we have this inundation of great white sharks off the coast of Cape Cod, which is like art mixed reality, reality mixed art. Some type of a psychic thing the author of Jaws had. The reason we have great white sharks as a problem off the coast of Cape Cod is because great white sharks, I just get the impression sometimes are kind of lazy in hunting for food. And if they find a food source, they will stay with that source forever instead of just hitting it and then going on their way, maybe looking for something else. But they're not like that at all. Once they find a food source, that's it. They'll stay there for eternity. So what's happened is the scientists have decided that they're going to allow seals to occupy an island off the coast of Cape Cod. And it's sort of a protected territory. The seals could, if they want to protect it, go north to the Maine coast, which is only 75 miles as the seagull flies. That's a little bit taken on as the crow flies, okay? What I'm saying is these seals are an appetizer for the sharks, and the sharks come all the way up from the Gulf of Mexico to eat these seals, and they return every summer. Now, this weekend being July 24th and July 23rd, there were 22 great white shark sightings off the coast of Cape Cod in the Truro Nauset area on Cape Cod National Seashore, which is a record. So now we have a party. We have great whites having a party on the beaches of Cape Cod and coming in very close to shore in 4 feet of water, nosing around looking for food and having a great time. And not to be strange, but I do believe that somehow sharks can communicate with other sharks and tell them that there is a food source nearby or ahead and attract more sharks to the area. Great white sharks are the most vicious, brutal, man eating sharks in the world. And if you saw the movie Jaws, you would see how vicious they are. So now we're in a situation where, now we're in a situation, I'm having a video problem here. We're in a situation where the priority is to protect the seals instead of the people, instead of the thousands of tourists that come flock to Cape Cod in the summer. Now, the tourists that spend $100 a night, $200 a night, $300 a night in the Wellesley area, very high rents to stay in a hotel, motel on the Cape Cod National Seashore area so they can go to the beach. so they can go swimming in the Atlantic. But now there's a huge sign that says, white sharks, great white sharks, avoid swimming, be careful swimming, don't swim in less than, a half an inch of water. I mean, you got to be out of your mind if you go in that water. With 22 great whites reported a few days ago. And I can't imagine anyone putting their children in that water. That would just be plain child endangerment, but I'm not going to go there. So now you have these tourist countries who go to Cape Cod National Seashore, and instead of going in the water, they stand on the shore with their cameras and see if they can get a picture of a great white. But and then I did talk to someone from Provincetown, a friend of mine, and I said the tourist industry must be taking a big hit. And she said, actually, they're still coming here to take videos of the sharks, which I think is really ludicrous. We're putting, what the scientists are doing is saying we're going to protect the seals. We have to have the seals because, seals are not an endangered species by any stretch of imagination, but the scientists want to see seals there to be protected, so they leave them there. And the sharks feast on them. I don't know how much protection that is. And because the sharks are around, now we have an intimidation across Cape Cod National Seashore. People can't go in the water, who are paying big money to go down the Cape. It's not just the money, it's the inconvenience, and it's the danger. There was a young man killed in Cape Cod Bay only 2 years ago or 3 years ago near Plymouth by a great white shark, which is got to be the most horrifying death you could possibly imagine. Now they have tagged a lot of great whites and given them cute little names, like one of them is named Luke. And they can tag them, they can follow around, see where they are. But you're going to have rogue sharks. The thing is, you have a very dangerous situation to the point it has ruined healthy summer tourism and ruined people's vacations and turned Cape Cod into some type of live horror movie, imitating the movie Jaws. And the reason we have this is because the scientists want to protect the seals. They're not going to remove the seals. They can remove those seals. They can find a way to get those seals out of there anytime they want. And at that point, the sharks won't be there because their food source is gone. Then the sharks are gone, but they won't do it. What's going to happen is, as time goes on, this is becoming more and more of a crisis. And if someone gets killed out there, especially a child, who should be very dramatic, by a great white, you're going to start having huge lawsuits in the millions of dollars if someone loses their life out there. Because the authorities, the officials, didn't do their job. Because the officials' job is to protect American citizens first. It is not to protect seals. We don't have a United States Army to protect SEALs, or United States Air Force, or Coast Guard, or FBI to protect SEALs. It really just be, I'm being funny because I always have this sense of humor, but we don't put SEALs ahead of human life or ahead of millions and millions of dollars in business, in healthy living, in free living in America, and just completely compromise it because the scientists believe the SEALs should be first, which is completely asinine and extremely dangerous. They think they can tag these sharks and track them. Well, you can tag a shark and you can track it, but you can't tag and track every single shark. And you get 22 sightings in 2 days on Cape Cod. That is tragic. And it's time for people to wake up. Time for the scientists to say, you know, let's get a rowboat, get the seals, and move them someplace else, and give people a chance to live. And put people first instead of a bunch of seals. I got nothing against seals, but you don't endanger people's lives and take away their personal freedom, especially in America. Because you want to save some seals. The seals have been around for a long time. They can go someplace else. It's really not a big deal. And they can easily go to Maine. They can go wherever they go. You can just take them and, to be honest, I don't care what you do with them. Because you're at a point you're trying to save the seals, or be nice to seals, and you're putting people's lives in danger and ruining people's freedom. And you've already had a tragedy a couple of years ago where a young man was killed by a great white that was here chasing seals. I'm not a master of doom prediction. What's going to happen is if someone is killed by these sharks, especially a child, because it's very, very dramatic. If a child gets killed by a great white, you're going to have huge lawsuits, and at that point, things will start to turn around. And the scientists are at that point where they could actually be held liable for the child's death by any good lawyer. That's all I'm going to say for today. I hope that common sense starts going in first place instead of some scientists' weird romanticism they get by smoking pot they can buy at the pot stores. That's all for today. Jesus Christ saves, amen.